few days ago, French newspaper L'Équipe announced the winner of the Velodor Trophy, a relatively prestigious trophy in cycling for the best cyclist of the year. There's a trophy on the men's side and on the women's side, and on the men's side Jonas Vingegaard was the winner, and on the women's side Demi Vollering. The results received quite a bit of criticism, and honestly, I think they deserve it. Before I dive into why I think this trophy is currently irrelevant, let's talk about how it works. On August 31st, nominees are announced. 10 riders on the men's side and 10 riders on the women's side. But the fact that these are announced on the 31st of August, during the Vuelta, makes it so a rider like Cyclist, who ends up winning the Vuelta, does not make the list. Anyway, that is problem 1. The nominees are announced too early. After the nominees are announced, a panel of 36 cycling journalists can vote on their top 5 cyclists in that list. By selecting a rider for their first place, they give them 5 points. Second place, 4 points. Third place, 3 points. Fourth place, 2 points. And the last place, a single point. At the end of the voting, the rider with the most points is declared the winner of the Velodor, the best cyclist of 2023. Pretty straightforward, but you can already see quite a few caveats along the way. Let's take a look at the votes of a few cycling journalists. The first journalist on the board has Van der Poel in first, Vingegaard in second, Roglic in third, Evenepoel in 4th and Philipsen in 5th. Now, I understand that these votes are quite subjective, but not having Tadej Pogacar in your entire top 5, I don't see a world where that is possible. The man won the Tour of Flanders, Lombardia, got second at the Tour de France, Paris-Nice, he beat Vingegaard quite comfortably, Amstel Gold Race, Flesch, and numerous other victories throughout the season. The next votes are from a Belgian newspaper with Van der Poel in first, Vingegaard in second, Pogacar in third, Evenepoel in 4th and Roglic in 5th. In my opinion, that is a very defensible top 5. The next one is from a Danish journalist with Pogacar in 1st, Vingegaard in 2nd, Van der Poel in 3rd, Evenepoel in 4th and Roglic in 5th. Basically very similar to the previous voter, but the top 3 are kinda twisted around. Most of the journalists on this voting paper have Pogacar, Vingegaard and Van der Poel in the top 3. Let's be honest, that's how it should be. But every now and then you've got this odd vote in there. For example, this one, Evenepoel in first, then Pogacar, Van der Poel, Vingegaard and Roglic. Like, I don't know how you can put Evenepoel in first. Or the next one, Pogacar in first, Roglic in second, Vingegaard in third, Philipsen and then Evenepoel. Where is Mathieu van der Poel? The man won the World Championships road race, he won Paris-Roubaix and Milano-San Remo and nearly won the Tour of Flanders. That one-day race season, that's one of the best I've seen in the last 2 decades. Tom Bonen 2005, Cancellara 2010 maybe? Those are the only 2 riders that I can think of that can compete with this. Once again, not having Van der Poel in your top 5, top 3 even, the same with Pogacar, is indefensible. Anyway, I think you get the point. Some of these votes seem like they didn't see the same cycling season that we saw. Here's the full voting sheet of the men's Velodor if you do want to take a closer look. In total, 16 journalists voted Mathieu van der Poel as their number 1 rider, 11 did Pogacar, and 8 did Jonas Vingegaard. But Van der Poel was out of 4 top 5s. Either because they forgot he existed, or they completely underrated the season. Meanwhile, Jonas Vingegaard is consistently in everyone's top 3. Nobody forgot about him. Now, Jonas Vingegaard won the Velodor with 142 points, ahead of Van der Poel 133 points, and Pogacar 126 points. The differences being this small means that the odd irregular vote in there actually impacts the victory. Now, in my opinion, if you have Van der Poel or Pogacar or Vingegaard in first in your list, perfectly defensible. But not having them in your top 5 and even your top 4, even top 3, that's bloody heresy. Now, my last problem when it comes to the Velodor has to do with the Velodor Women's Trophy. This one dude from La Gazzetta dello Sport couldn't even be fucked writing down 5 names on his list. He could do it for the men, but not for the women. So either he doesn't know 5 names in women's cycling, or he couldn't be fucked completing the lists. Honestly, if you can't write down 5 names, you probably shouldn't be voting for this trophy. Anyway, those are the problems I have with the Velodor. But I can also give you some potential solutions to fix it, if L'Équipe is willing to listen. The first problem was that the nominees are announced on the 31st of August, so in the latter part of the season, you cannot be nominated anymore if you have some wonderful performances. Honestly, for this one, the solution is quite easy. Just announce your nominees later. The second problem was irregular, odd, indefensible votes actually impacting the outcome of the trophy. I think you can fix that by changing the weight of the votes. Change the point system from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 points to something like 10, 7, 4, 2, 1 or something. That way, if a lot of people vote a certain rider in first, they are more likely to win the overall trophy. My last annoyance was that Italian journalist that didn't bother filling in 5 votes on the women's side, just don't have that person vote again. I also feel like it would be good to have a separate jury list for the men's side and a separate jury list for the women's side, because not every journalist that follows men's cycling has a clue about women's cycling. Anyway, those are the reasons that I think the Velodor result is kind of irrelevant, but I think I gave quite a few good solutions that could make it more relevant in the future, so L'Équipe can make this trophy better in the future. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that Vingegaard did not deserve to win the Velodor. I think there's an argument for his sake, for also Pogacar, and for Van der Poel. Personally, I'd probably give it to Mathieu Van der Poel because I believe his classic season is so properly unheard of. But I'd love to hear your take, so dive into the comment section, tell me who should have won the Velodor in your opinion and why. Anyway, sorry for the long rant, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.